You have the same problem we asked.
I did.
It's
I think you have to walk there.
Are you in, did you get to by way of, which way did you get to?
I don't think it's updated.
So like this, you can push that, or you can push that. And sometimes I feel like you go.
That's what I would.
Okay, sometimes I feel like it gets you trying to put those.
I don't think he's connecting to the.
Oh, he's not connected.
He needs to.
So it's not updating.
Really?
Exactly.
I got internet.
Dolly shares that.
Can you push remind me tomorrow? I'm gonna think of time.
I've been massive. Don't know why.
I think you have to go and hit send.
He's cutting him in right there. I don't know if he ate something.
Did you get?
No, what kind of
That cancer.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the meeting to order at 7:31 on July 25th, 2022. Would you please stand for pledge and short devotion? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, we thank you that we could gather in this place, and we just ask that the decisions that are made will help the whole here in the township of Osnaburg. We thank you for all the staff and those that work so hard to keep our home a beautiful place. It's in your name. Amen. All right. All right. Any additions to the agenda?
I'll have an update on Parks Avenue.
Okay. And the road. Okay.
And then I'd like a executive session at the end with no action being taken.
Okay. After road.
It can be any time at
Okay.
the end of the meeting.
Oh, into the meeting.
So
Okay.
everybody wants to leave.
Perfect. All right. Got it. Ms. Griffith, do you have anything you want to add?
If I do, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Sounds good. Mr. Lowry?
At present, under cemetery, I'll have some things. I see Ryan isn't here,
Okay.
and I may have some updates on old business and new business.
Okay.
I actually got some written stuff here I gotta just mention.
All right.
Nothing major.
And I'll add something at fire when we get there. All right. Can we get approval of the minutes from the last meeting?
Trustee Griffith, motions to approve the minutes.
Trustee Pugh, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Approve of the financial report.
Trustee Pugh moves to accept it as presented.
Trustee Griffith, seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Thank you. All right, seeing that there's no public speaks, we'll move right along. Fire report.
So we have talked a little bit about Burger and some of the issues that we've been having on Burger. And I wanted to update you that I've had 2 meetings with the city of Canton, both with different people in their bureau. So they are who is currently working on that. They have been doing things. They've spent some money. They are actively trying to do some things there. A lot of it is not public stuff, so I can definitely update any of you guys. But they are doing things there, so they're not ignoring it. And I've actually had 2 good meetings with them here over the past
Great.
week or so it's been productive.
Great.
Um,
Thanks for looking into that. That's-
yeah. Trustee Pure had asked me about fireworks. It's not our jurisdiction, so Sheriff's Department is who they need to get a hold of.
You tried?
Yep, I did, I tried.
Thank
So
you.
that's what I got for that. 28 calls, 17 ALS calls, 7 BLS, 4 fire calls. Honestly, we've been busy. I think we ran like 15 or 16 calls over the weekend, so it's just been insanely busy.
What were the fire calls? Just checks, or did you actually?
One was a gas leak on Fairhill. A gentleman sheared off a distribution line, so there was that. Several were trees down. A couple of them were structure fires in the surrounding areas. We were down in Sandy Township. So
What was on fire down in Sandy?
2 houses in one night.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Because I heard there were a lot of fire departments that called.
Pretty much everybody
Like 20
around.
or something.
Yeah, so they
Oh,
were on
wow.
one and then they got toned out for a second one. And so when they initially toned us out, they were like, we're calling you in Canton Township. Have at it. We're not gonna be able to leave this other one yet. So,
Oh, and they weren't side by side. They were different structure fires across town. Okay, wow.
not likely related, like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, so we've been busy.
okay. All right, I wanted to add, but is there anything else for the fire?
I don't have any.
Pretty quiet, is it? Move on. I wanted to add quickly, Chief Parker sent me an email. One of the ambulance distributors that we had talked to kind of in the initial due diligence part of this had sent her an email and talked about an ambulance that may be ready quicker than anybody else. First conversation was, we're looking for a 4-wheel drive, and then he came back and said, he or she came back and said, we have a 4-wheel drive. The long and short is it's going to be available in March of 23, done, complete, ready to take home. So we are very far away from that with the other company. And so what Amy and I were talking about possibly doing is maybe going and taking a look, or have them bring that ambulance and just see its quality.
Is this a used one or new?
No,
one?
it's
It would
new.
be a new
It'd be
build.
brand new chassis. So looking at the purchase agreement, now obviously we wanted to use, this is Liberty Downtown Ford. We don't have any money out right now. Our name is on a chassis. They're going to order it first of the year. They can't order it before. And so if we would have to pull away from this purchase agreement, I don't see any issue with that if we were to decide that this ambulance would be a good choice. Now, Amy and Tom and Dan all agreed that the one we chose was the box they wanted. So we'd have to make sure that, this other ambulance would be to the quality of what we're looking for. But we're talking about possibly a difference of a year, maybe, having it, not having it. And I think it also was about the same price, I believe. I think this one came in at like $260, something around that line. So I think it might do us good to communicate by email with this company and say, yes, we're interested in taking a look, just to see. I mean, are they giving us first right of refusal on it, or not really?
That's a good question. I don't know. He has sent it
Okay.
to me and I said I would bring it
Okay,
and
so if it's okay with everybody, I think Amy and I want to take a look.
I'll definitely take a look.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doesn't hurt us at all to just take a look at it, so.
Also, it'll give me time to look at exactly what we were doing there.
Okay,
I do need to kind of talk to Trustee Pure, working on a truck, so I see what kind of price we were involved there, so I
Okay.
know if I
I'm
make
supposed
it.
to call you, I was gonna call, I'm supposed to call you back here in first of August, and hopefully he's got some pricing. He didn't have nothing, so I couldn't.
I just need to know, where we're at to do it for the, if we're gonna do, does this sound like something that would happen this year or into March?
oh, it wouldn't be till next year.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not talking about having it done till March of 2023.
Right now, I have, with your all's permission, we had a resolution to appropriate to use 418,000.
Mhm.
We've used 10,000 of that right now on premium
Premium
pay
pay.
right now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out how long we can keep our premium pay to use that along with do these two big purchases.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll get some more information and come back to you. All right, is that it for fire? All right, moving along, cemetery report. No, it was yeah. Yep.
Cemetery report, I see Ryan's not here. I know Stewie has some things on his road report that I think you ought to make note of. Stu, do you mind, because you're involved with that, I don't have it in front of me.
What we did,
We
you
had
mean
a
Friday?
tree down, we had a tree down, and them guys went up there, just let
Yeah,
the
Friday,
trustees know.
we went up to the cemetery in East Canton,
Coombs.
Coombs.
Oh,
And
okay.
a tree actually had fell, it was right on the property line of Butler's and the cemetery, but it fell out into the cemetery. So me and Ryan and Brian Garrett went up with all the equipment and everything and cleaned that all up, along with trimming a bunch of other trees, cutting other trees down. We took 4 big truckloads of limbs and trash and stuff out of there down to the dump, and 1 big load of logs.
Okay.
So it's starting to look better already.
That was-
We spent most of the morning. till
I bet the
about
Butlers
noon.
are appreciative of that.
They
clean all
were
that
able
up.
to react quickly and get
Yeah.
it done. So.
Yeah. Good.
The other part, being we're on the tree part, I did get the quote, I did fire this to Ryan, and it is on the computer from Tyler Dickerhoof on that big pine tree in Union. The removal of the large pine tree in the cemetery, clean up the brush. As he drops the branches, he's gonna chip that all away. What he asked me is if the township could help as he chunks down the actual, think of it as a toothpick stick. He's gonna chunk that down and drop it a section at a time. He just asked if someone was there with a mini or something to pull each piece away, because he's worried about ricochets bouncing around when it hits, if there's stuff laying there. So someone needs to kind of work with him. And I know Stu and Ryan have volunteered to do that, even if it meant coming in on a weekend, because Tyler does work on a Friday and a Saturday to probably do that. I know the funds, and I see his quote there at $2,900. I know we have the funds, we have over that available, just over that would not jeopardize anything to give us room to do other cleanups or other things in the cemeteries, as long as it wasn't something major, but then we'd have to look at the general fund if I had that. But there is funds there to do that, to get that finally taken out of
So
it.
it's July, so we're halfway. So at $2,900, that doesn't wipe us out?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And the thing, trustees, is we talked about it, and I've kind of been watching it, where our funds are, and I know Trustee Griffith had asked me a number of times on it. I know this was something back when I was the cemetery section, it was something needed done, because that tree root system is in so many graves right around the base. And if a hard wind does take it down, it could take out multiple headstones in there. It's just a really big tree. I think it's 80 some feet tall.
Oh, wow. That is a big tree.
It's huge.
And if you're gonna ask about if we use this money this year for that, will we have money to possibly work on coons or anything else? There will be money available depending how the year ends up, but I can already see we have built up enough money right now to be able to do our mowing next year, at least that part right now, unless we have some astronomical things happen.
Right.
We are in good shape.
Are you, I mean, obviously Ryan's not here to tell us, but this $2,900, is there another big project he wants to get done this year? Or
As of-
after this, it's gonna be general maintenance, would you?
That's what I say.
I mean, I know we can't
We
foresee
have
the
a few-
future, but.
Well, the only other thing we talked about, and it doesn't have to be now, is possibly putting a fence up along Indian Run up there.
Yes.
Because there's a problem with one of those
Yes.
dogs traveling through there over onto other neighbors' property, and I'm not sure how.
An update on that, Trustee Griffin? I know one of the neighbors had updated me.
Yeah, I had a neighbor complain to me too.
Yeah, well, she actually had the sheriff and everything there, the dog warden sheriff, and they've been written a citation because the dog actually attacked, not somebody in ours, but another neighbor there.
A different neighbor
Animal.
did, that's who I heard.
So there is something going on there, so
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
There's a
if
paper
it-
trail started, as you're
Yes.
saying.
It does, but they have all them small children there, and they go out and they play in the cemetery, and I think maybe at some point a fence of some sort.
Might,
What I worry
Cut
about,
that pine tree up in the
as long
fence.
as they don't go around the one fence.
They'll get something to climb over.
I don't know, but I mean.
you don't
we
need
should at
screws,
least
just the sap
do
will hold the fence together. The sap. I think if this is an 80-foot tree that needs to be cut down, we need to get moving on it.
something. That might be possible.
All right. Trustee Barry would like to make a motion to pay Tyler Dickerhoof $2,900 to remove the tree in East Canton Cemetery.
And Griffith will second, with caution that we're not getting too low in that fund. That's all I'm concerned.
That
But I
fund-
want to, I know the tree needs to come down, so we need to do it.
Yeah, that fund.
All those in favor?
Aye. Just to let you know, in that fund right now, in your cemetery fund, there is, at the present time, that's down, 17,277.83. Right now, there's 9,800 of it has been set aside for prepays.
Yeah.
So you have that cushion. Also, I estimate as I write the budget out for next year, I will have a snapshot on July 31st and be prepared at your next meeting, your first meeting in August for the budget. I'm going to budget this all in for, projects that we're going to work on, possibly Koontz or anything you guys and Ryan, the cemetery section, decide to do, that we can do something every year in these cemeteries.
Okay. All right, anything else for the cemetery? Okay, let's move on to the road.
Good evening, everybody. Trustees have looked over the road report.
questions?
Did the micro seal guys finish?
They went out and seal cracked everything.
Okay.
They said they will be back in around 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm hoping they're here and out of here before chip and seal comes. Chip and seal is supposed to come in around middle of the month of August, third week, second to third week. A little bit later than usual.
Stu, could you explain the possible solution for some of these graffiti signs? Cody and Lou and everybody wrote their name.
Well, I'm talking with Gene from Municipal Signs to see if possibly they would have the bigger sticker size, like the stop signs we can get now, real cheaper, that you just take the back off and stick it on. I'm gonna see if they've got those even in the bigger
In the
sign,
arrow.
because it would be a lot cheaper than trying to buy a whole new sign. I've tried to take the paint off those with different stuff. It doesn't work. It usually messes up.
What's
the
your
sign.
estimate on how many we're gonna need to replace? 7?
I didn't get an exact number.
Okay.
I actually really need to go back through and drive all around, because I didn't even know they went clear to the top of Hill Church. I seen they did them all there at Chris Vincent's. They did that big one up at the top there at Kiko's Daughters. I would have to get a good count on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Get a good count on it, measure them, and then call her and
Okay.
see.
Okay.
If I can get the stick over type, it'll
It's
be a
gonna
lot
save a
cheaper
lot
for
of
us. It'll
money.
save us a lot of money.
Okay.
That's all I can say right now, because I never
Okay.
got back with her
We'll
to
get a count.
check on it. I started measuring some different sizes and trying to gather up everything. So when I do call her, I can find out one way or the other what it's gonna cost. Brand new signs or just a stick on.
So the road, is our responsibility also the road signs, the actual labels for the road?
Oh, yeah.
That's us too.
Depends where it lands.
Yeah,
If it lands on a county road
Yeah,
or
like-
state road,
There's
usually
Cody
they
in the
were
back.
responsible.
they
That one's
they
Is that on the
usually
back of
do,
the
but
sign?
That's
Not the
stop
road sign, the stop sign.
That road sign's been
Yeah.
covered.
I don't think they do road sign.
I don't think they do the road signs, just the stop
Of course,
signs.
it's in
What's that?
a friend sent it to me.
And if we got into a real bind, if somebody stole a bunch, they'll help out to try and get something out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a stop sign.
Okay,
They've done that
yeah,
before. It
yeah.
helped us if we didn't have any.
Okay. Thanks for looking into that.
They're usually really pretty quick, the county, getting out there and replacing them,
Okay.
but they must have a really big
Yeah.
stockpile of them and stuff.
Yeah.
That they can go out there like that almost the next day or 2 days later.
On the county roads.
Yeah, replace them. That
Did
quick.
you ask them what they do if they try to clean them? Maybe they have something we don't know about.
Well, I can talk with them.
You see what
and
they
find
have?
out.
Some,
Yeah,
They might just repaint over them and put the new stuff back on top of it then. Maybe they redo them. I don't know, ask and see what they do.
I've
I
never
think
seen
you'd be
them.
able to send them back in and get them
respot. I think the sticker you're talking about is the whole thing though. It's yellow and black. Like for the arrow sign, the whole thing's
Yeah.
a sticker.
It'll
It goes
come
right
exactly,
over
looking
there.
exactly
It'll
like
look
the
exactly
regular
the same.
sign, just like the stop sign.
As long as Stu isn't crooked when
We've
he
got
sits it on.
yeah. The wind ain't blowing and we got a set of him. Well, that's how it's going on, man.
All right, thanks for looking into that. Anything else on the report, Stu?
Did you have trees down yesterday?
Saturday. we had trees
Was it
down.
Saturday?
Yes. Then you saw us.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had trees down on Sundell. We had trees down on Neiman's. We had trees down on Fairhill. We had trees down on Hill Church. Mott's. You pushed them up.
I had one on
Thank you
Orchard.
very much.
I had one on Orchard View. It was light enough I could
Dude
move
Nelson
it. but-
pushed a couple off up on Neiman's for us there too, helping us out. We were still chasing.
it was like a microburst.
Oh, yeah.
It was-
Wow.
Certain
all
areas
sides, it
just
was
looked like
real-
nothing ever happened, and other places looked like a tornado went through.
Wow.
So,
just shredded limbs and leaves and
yeah, my granddaughter was driving on 172.
Yeah, did you see that one? That was,
I didn't go see it.
That was last
That
week.
was the day
that was
before.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Right, it wasn't part of that, but it
Well,
was.
she was
shot.
right there and said she saw this tree
well,
wavering and she hit her brakes and it dropped like 4 feet in front of her.
Oh my gosh.
She was
when
really
we
upset.
was
about
out
it.
Saturday, the big crane was there. Because we come out
Why did
Neiman's.
that tree fall? Did someone cut it?
No, it
It was too
split.
heavy.
It split off.
Okay.
That thing's huge. That was just a section of it.
And there was at least as much left as there was
I
on
know.
that house.
And it blocked the whole road, didn't it?
This thing looked like it'd take
She
3, 4
was
people
able to get
reach
around.
She was able to get around it. Okay. There was another one on Facebook that blocked the whole road. They could tell them to turn around.
But yeah, they had the crane out there trying to pick it off the house. It really messed it up.
They got it all.
Yeah, but I had to do some damage though.
It didn't look like structurally. They
Really?
said there was some holes in the roof, which is understandable, but the frame of the house looked like. it's
Out by
strange.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was next to the Stilianos family. Yep, right.
I was surprised at the top line.
It looked worse than, yeah.
Looked pretty straight.
That came through very fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
yeah.
fast as it came, it was gone.
Hey, Randy, do you want to talk about parks before we do? We probably should talk about parks, then talk about amend the 2020 strip and seal.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do parks first and then.
well, I spoke with Fiscal Officer Lowry, and his recommendation is to remove parks and add back in the 2 other roads that we had knocked out. I was looking-
Sindel and
Sindel and Evening Star.
Evening Star.
Okay.
And is that still what you're thinking, Brian?
Yeah, if we're gonna do a parks project, if you take parks off, that's 28,227.16. The original resolution was for 245,433, which included parks, but by taking that off, that drops it down to only 217,206.
Okay.
So now you can add Sindel on at 26,934.58. You could add Evening Star, the 22,510.27 back on. It would then give you a grand total of $266,650.95. Where I have the extra funds right now in the appropriations and all the resolutions that you did at the last meeting, I have that 245,000 already in a purchase order for 2020 at this time. If we were to add those 2 roads on, take parks off, it now becomes that total of 266,650.95. What I'm suggesting in the 2021, which is your gasoline tax, I had set aside actually about 35,000 in machinery and equipment and 30,000 in transferring out to go in a capital fund. We could take 20,000 or a little over 21,000 of that between those 2 line item funds, which would give us enough money to do that whole project and still leave us about 22 grand in there, or $18,100 in there, if we still wanted to put some money into a capital fund or in case something major happens that we need additional funds. I do have all kinds of funds available. When I say all kinds, that I have budgeted the normal circumstances of what Stu and the road department would use, such as breakdowns. They might need something additional of about 7,000 to 8,000 in 2 of those funds each. So, you always have that rainy day. I already have, I shouldn't say that rainy day, that situation where something could happen. I also have all their fuel and the salt that we're going to be getting already is all accounted for out of the funds.
And you have the funds for Strasser already set aside.
Yeah, Strasser's already
Okay.
set aside. That project was actually our first big project that you all approved. So we have the Strasser micro sealing set aside. It's already tied up. We have the 245 that was at the last meeting.
That's tied up.
Already tied up.
Okay.
And we have, there was one other
So,
thing. Yeah.
Fiscal officer, how many, or maybe this is maybe a Stu question, what's our mileage? If we add those 2 back and take parks off for now?
It was 15.44 miles, I think, everything all together. So we just have to subtract parks off.
You should
Okay,
track.
so it'd be 14 and something.
Yeah, 1.50
That was
off.
it was a mile. Parks was a mile. Yeah. So you're at 14, so that's closer to what we want to do
That's a pretty good year. for
That's a
all
pretty
that
good year.
micro seal.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
that's a lot.
Because that's
That's a
not
lot.
even, usually we
So-
would do just that, no micro sealing.
So Brian, the
It's
difference is 21,650 and 95 cents.
Yeah.
Do you, if we do this, would you like a second motion with this chunk, or would you like us to?
What you need to
To
do,
re-up the
if
motion.
trustee Puro,
I'll make an amend the
what we
2192.
want to do is
22.
amend 22-192 from the last meeting
Okay.
and move it up to take Parks off.
Okay.
And put Evening Star and Sindel on for a new total
I've got
of 266,650.95.
Yep.
I can add to, under that resolution, I can add to that difference, make another purchase order to make that up.
Okay.
So we would have the 245 initially, 245, 433 that was there, and the additional,
So
Um,
fiscal officer Lowry, if we're able to keep our mini together for a few more months and get to next year, we'll have a little bit of money set aside in equipment.
well, when I write the budget for next year, the road budget usually is going to tell me out of gas tax, out of the gas tax, the road funds, the other three road funds, that we'll have almost 385,000 to do our road projects.
Okay.
Okay, out of that, I always set 30,000 aside. If I have a carryover here of another 20,000
Okay.
out of what we're not going to use, out of what we would normally put in capital.
Sure.
fund,
So
add
we're
them
gonna
two together,
have access to
Yeah.
about 50-ish
50 to
and then trade in
55,000.
value on what we have. So we're close.
So I think
Yeah,
it
okay.
is workable.
I think that's a good, I like that. I'd rather do more
That
roads
sounds fun.
and do the mini beginning of next
I
year's
mean, the mini's
budget.
been doing good at it.
I feel like that's a
Nobody's on
better choice.
Don't jinx it.
it.
Well, and I think then too, is if we plan for that and we can work ahead, we might be able to get it a little quicker too. I mean, if we're gonna, hopefully stuff starts picking back up. I'm good to add those roads back. I don't know where you guys all are.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, trustee Puro moves to amend 22-192 to removal of Parks Avenue from chip and sealing, add back on Sindel and Evening Star for a grand total of $266,650.95.
Trustee Varian, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And
Do we
I,
need to tell somebody that?
I will take care, and I know Stu was, but I had already run taking Parks off
Okay.
by 2020. And the reason I did that is because I asked him if we wanted to add on at the next meeting. I told him what happened. I said there was discussion on taking Parks off, and he said he didn't have any problem.
Okay, good.
And then at that time, I said, what happens if we, the trustees, decide to add on? He said, I can work that right out for you.
Okay.
So he seemed, I did that because I wanted to explain to him, normally I would send him all the documentation from that meeting. But I explained to him now, after tonight's meeting, I will send it, amend it to him. Okay?
All right, Mr. Piro, do you want to talk more about parks?
Oh, I just gonna let you know, we're underway. I'm working with Jeff Brown. I'm waiting on him to get back to me. He does
Original planning?
the application, helps
Okay.
lead the application. I've been working with the engineer's office and
Okay.
gathering road prep and getting everything together. So I'll have more at each meeting.
Okay, great. All right, anything else for road?
I'm sure I'll forget something.
Okay, I'm gonna move on before we have to spend any money. Okay, how about zoning?
Since last meeting, there was one lot split done, so that was $20 that was turned in. Over at Georgetown, where 12th and Georgetown meet, there's a house that's vacant there. They were playing about the high grass. So I sent a letter, and that I checked today, it wasn't mowed yet, so I'll check again tomorrow, and then I'll send another letter.
Is it individually owned or bank owned?
It's individually owned, as far as I know.
Family owns a property in the village too. There's a couple.
That building over on Ravenna that they were building without a permit, I know the county sent them a letter. And when they do that, if they try to apply with them, they make them go through all the steps of the health department and us. So they should be coming to us, and I'll send another letter as well. Over at Lucy, that truck that's on the side of the road there with scrap all in the back of it, health department called back. He said he can't do anything about it. He could potentially do something about the scrap, but at this point he can't do anything. So I gotta look into what we can do about it, because kind of at a dead end for that right now. Over at Swollen, I reached out to the neighbor that first brought it up about the junk vehicles. He said he did move them, so they're harder to see right now, but the building ain't done yet. So still waiting for that, and we'll see what happens there. And Indian Run, it does look like they're trying to clean up some. Mr. Lawson has called in trying to contact me, and I've tried to call him back several times and haven't been able to get through to him. So I'll try him again and see if I get a chance to talk to him or not.
Have you seen anything visible done over there? I mean, I saw some things moved around, but I didn't know.
It looks like it's been mowed,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
they're working on cleaning up some of the junk, moving some of it around.
they did move the camper way back away from the road.
Yeah.
Has there been any more issue with the video guy?
It's
Not
been quiet
that
as far as I know.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I haven't had any phone calls.
Yeah,
I haven't either.
I haven't heard too much new about it, so.
Did the health department ever say what they were doing with it?
Paige hasn't called me back yet. I assume she's been out, but I can double check with her.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to hear what she says once she sees the property. Okay, anything else for zoning?
That's it.
Great.
We'll report, we did have the commission meeting,
Oh, great.
and there's two portions to that. One is the language that will revise our book, and the other is the map. And we took quite a while. We got through the language portion, but we didn't get a chance to get to the map. And I know we're going to be making some changes on it. So we're not ready to bring anything. And it took so much work, we decided to wait till next month to get back to the map.
Okay.
And once we get through everything and it gets approved at the consultant level, we send it to regional planning, then we'll be holding public hearings.
Okay.
So it's not a quick process. It's a
Right.
long process.
Right. Okay.
But Mary's doing a great job. Do you have any BZA meetings coming up?
The one got pushed back. They don't know when they're going to do it yet. The other one, we're looking at September, but she hasn't gotten me the paperwork yet. And then I got a phone call today about somebody want to build on a parcel, but they would need a variance if they go through with it.
So how many zoning board of appeals meetings have you had this year? I mean, they haven't been meeting every month, have they?
I think about 2, maybe
Okay.
3.
We still need to get at least 2 people onto that
Yeah, I've
committee.
got somebody that, for which one, BZA?
BZA.
I've got somebody ask me if there was anything that they could get involved in. I'll ask them.
Yeah, because they don't meet every month, so it would be something, I'm gonna say in general, probably 5 times a year.
Yeah, I've got somebody, I don't know if they will or not. They asked me if there was anything they could get involved in, so that.
Okay, that would be great.
Oh,
I would think about it.
yeah, we'll also need somebody for the commission, because Andy Meyer,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, you have that email?
yeah.
Mary's submitting that email tonight.
He got sent a message. Let's see. Says, I will no longer be on the board anymore. According to the bylaws, I have to live in the township as of next month. I will have a Canton address,
Oh, gotcha.
which will be in Plain Township. He has enjoyed being on the board for all these years.
So he is resigning. We'll need to accept that tonight, so I'd like to make a motion, we accept his resignation.
Mr. Pierce,
All those in favor?
Also, his years of service are like maybe 25, it's a long time. So what I thought we could do is, at some point here in the future, maybe we'll bring him back and maybe do a certificate or something and thank him for his service. Because he would have
He's
liked to stay on.
Been
and
doing it a
just-
long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know that, I don't know if we know those years yet, Mary. You didn't,
I can look in the folder.
Yeah. we'll let you verify the years and then we'll do something.
If this person's interested, just have them contact you or Mary or where, how you.
They can just get a hold of Mary. They can call me if they want, it doesn't matter, but Mary can take care of it.
That is effective the end of this month officially, or?
Mhm.
Though we have enough on that committee, we're not short, we are short on the BZA. So if you have someone, my preference is they go there because we're short of
You
people
need to get a
there.
vote. You better get your vote.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on to old business. Brian, you got something in old business?
Update on Sucos. Phil France hasn't given me a total update, but they are working on that, getting the cleanup and scheduled time. When I say cleanup, a little more organization, scheduled time for the sale. The actual mowing has been done. I did talk to Jim Beck today. He's planning on doing another mowing. The mowing, he roughly, I asked him to put it in writing. He told me a few $100s. If you remember that first one, to get it knocked down was like $700. Huntington Bank leasee Phil France paid that directly to him. And I'm going to ask until we officially get possession to keep doing that.
Okay.
But to let Jim keep mowing every 2 or 3 weeks to keep it knocked down
Okay.
instead of letting it get all growed up and have an astronomical amount. Also, I did send in your Outlooks emails. I'm trying to send every month under Sucos, you'll see the monthly statements for that lease if you want to follow money being transferred in and out or payments being done. That is there, and I think we put hard copies in your mailboxes also.
Did they have their sticker sale yet?
No, that's what, they still haven't done that. The power company has been authorized that, because I signed this up under Phil France and them, it meant they were going to put with Beck's Electric a temporary
Drop a temporary poll in.
up, just so they can have the sale. Then the temporary, we will need to evaluate the facility because Beck has recommendations, depending on what the trustees wanted to do there, of what he thought we should do to keep, electric going, everything running and all what have you.
Who's Beck's Electric?
Beck's Electric,
They're Waynesburg.
it's a Waynesburg.
Well, that's fine, but one thing to keep in mind, there's an electrician across the street from that.
Yeah, what's his
He doesn't run his business, Brandon Gregg,
Yeah.
but they do commercial and residential. And
There's nothing wrong with.
No, I'm
going
just
out and
saying for
Yeah,
future
there's nothing
use.
wrong
Yeah.
with pricing it. Beck's got involved because when Beck's got involved, Phil Francis was looking for someone. We were scrambling around.
I didn't even think about it the last,
Yeah.
was just thinking,
Yeah, he's got a
just
building
saying.
across the street.
Yeah, we were just trying to get somebody to get over just to have it inspected so they could turn power on. But what they realized is, yeah, you can turn power on, but
Too many repairs.
there needs to be
Oh,
some
yeah.
repairs done inside.
It's cheaper to drop a temporary pole in
Yeah,
to fix
so
everything
the
and then
temporary is
not
there.
need the power if we're
just
doing
to
something
get-
different with the building.
Yeah, but then to move forward, you need to do, and I think his idea to Phil France was, you're talking, there could be a $3,000 or $4,000 involved in
Right.
upgrading just enough.
Yeah.
But depending on what we would like to do there, maybe it should be something different, but then you can bid out or put other people involved with it. But that's how it got started.
Since we're on the Sucos, I will tell you that the grant period opened up on the NRAC. And since we still don't have possession, we're really not able to do that yet. And
Is there a close date for that?
yeah, it's real quick. It's like the first part of October.
Oh,
So I said, we're not gonna make it.
yeah.
If anything, we'll have to do it for next year.
What I'm looking for, if we could get the place cleaned up and possibly between now and the end of the year, whether with electrician or whatever, get electric in that building so we can have water, restrooms, enough operation to get in there to have developer type people come in and do some evaluations and
Right.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Because you guys could all make that decision, because what I would like to do then is get all the quotes, get all the things that you all approve and go to the bank and say, okay, we got $60,000 worth of things or 80,000. They will either cut us a check. I put it in a fund that goes in the township fund, and then we pay all that and have it done up until we can do the next move with it.
I
Okay?
will tell you that I did, was following, there's legislation being considered down at the state on the splash pads we kind of talked about. And it was because there's so many of them going in, there was no regulation on the quality of water in it and the, like a pool, the cleaning of the water. So they're looking at legislation, though they haven't completed anything yet. So which is good that we're
Yeah.
not rushing, because we could have to go back and redo things if we did.
That's true. All right, new business.
I'm going to stay on hold. if you
Okay,
don't
go
mind.
ahead.
The other one, and I just received it today, that's why I wanted to make sure, the CETA agreement that I've submitted into the city of Canton, the CETA agreement was 18,000, I apologize, I don't have that total right from me, $18,187. We did receive that check today.
Oh, great.
But also with that, they owe us back for zoning fees. No one's responded to me, but now I got the check, I can call and nicely thank them, but then see where they're at on.
Thanks for that
zoning.
check, by the way.
By the
Yeah,
way,
okay, good.
there's
All right.
other monies
All right.
owed according to the seed agreement.
Okay.
So it lets you know that. Under old business, I know I should have said it under road, but I have not heard or received any final bill notice from the Miller Builders. I know you trustees, I don't know if all three of you are aware, but I know Stewie on July 1st had talked to Dwayne, and he was planning on wrapping things up on July 1st. As of the end of the day during Stu's normal shift, nothing had been done, but here he popped up on July 2nd, Saturday, to finish up some grading and all. Him and Stewie did talk. And it sounded like to Stewie, he was like, we're done. At the last meeting, when we all left, there was a guy up there working in the dark. Stu asked me to go up. Here, this guy was up there skim coating some cracks and bad spaces over top of our already sealed stuff.
On the walls.
And I immediately called Dwayne. Dwayne didn't know nothing about it other than he said, that guy was supposed to do that 2 weeks ago. I said, well, is this job done or not? Oh, I was supposed to be done. The guy that was working, I know Stu was there. I said, this stuff won't hold. It's just a skim coat over some rough things. And to go and spend any more money resealing it and all, yeah, it's in there. But I wanted to talk to Dwayne when I get that bill before I prepare a final payment minus the late. Is it July 2nd, the last day, or was it July 11th, the last day? Also, I want to see what he does, why he hasn't billed us his remaining balance, because he's supposed to. So that's the update on that.
Okay.
Now, I don't have any new.
All right, sounds good. Moving along to correspondence. I don't think we have anything there. Anything else before we executive session?
The only other thing I want to mention back on zoning, we do have a zoning folder on our Outlook there, but it has a couple documents in it. And I would ask you not to get in there and play with them right now, because the one's a live feed down to the consulting firm. So if you make a change, it makes it.
I've already made 5.
It adjusts the original document.
It
Got
does.
it.
So,
We're gonna have lots of bad stuff in the township now.
Yeah.
so just don't touch that.
Don't touch that one.
I can't update, I don't know how to update things.
Okay. All right, Mr. Perro, do you want to,
Yep.
you need the sheet, you got it.
Trustee Perro moves to go into executive session for personal matters. This refers to the appointment, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual.
Trustee Varian second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, Anna.
Is
Yes,
it a roll call?
Piro, yes,
Yeah.
Piro, Griffith,
yes.
and Varian.
Yes.
The time is 8:15. Are we doing anything afterwards?
Nope, just the 3 trustees.
Because I'm going to shut,
No action.
I'm going to shut down the cameras and a recorder. The meeting will be over once we come out of executive session officially, but if there's no action being taken other than pay bills and all, if you want to do that now, so it's on the record.
So I'll make a motion that we pay bills and adjourn when we come out of the executive session.
Trustee, go ahead.
Trustee Perro, second.
All those in favor?
All right.
All right, give me a moment.
And everybody else is dismissed.
Yeah. Folks, if you're listening on recordings and all, we're going to executive session, but no meeting, continuation of the meeting will be done afterwards. So the meeting is officially over. Audio and cameras will be turned off.
Mary, if you get someone, call you that Randy talked to, make sure they send something in writing, their name, address, why they want to do it, and then let's get it at their next meeting so we can get them in.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought you owned his house.